Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. I really didn't expect this big of a crowd to come hear me speak, so it's very humbling, I will add. There's a couple of people I want to recognize before I get started. First off, Mr. Warren and Bill Warren and the Warren Group came down from Kansas this morning to join us. Mr. Warren, I cannot thank you enough for the synergy and the energy that your announcement of bringing your theater to our community has brought. I go to planning meetings throughout the city, and each planning meeting I go to has a slice of the Warren Theater built into their plans. It's an exciting time for us. We want to thank you for selecting Midwest City, which we think is a great place to be, and you will too. And thanks for coming down and enjoying us. There's a couple other people I want to recognize before we get started. Obviously, my best friend and the one that endures all the stuff is my wife, Narita. She's heard this speech 6 times. I'm sorry. And then another special person. Of course, both of my sons are special, but Chris is with us today. He's on leave from the United States Marine Corps. He's en route to training to be an embassy guard for the next 3 years. So it's great to have him here. He's never seen me do my mayor thing, so it's great to have him here. As you know, 2 weeks ago, we lost a Midwest City firefighter. Reese Morrison was a 21-year veteran of our fire department and was the epitome of a husband, father, firefighter, and Christian. It was a hard loss for our city and the fire department. So as you go about your daily tasks, I would ask that you currently keep our fire department and the Morrison family in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this grieving time. Again, Reese was a well-respected man in our community, and he'll be a great loss to us. When I did the data call for this speech, I got back 39 pages from all the departments in Midwest City touting their accomplishments. What I'm going over today is just a fraction of what we do in our community every day, and 95% of it goes unnoticed. So my intent is to bring those to the forefront this morning. We had a great year in Midwest City, a great year. We began our 75th anniversary with a gala that was attended by over 500 people. It culminated with our largest ever Veterans Day Parade, the placement of the C-47 in Joe B. Barnes Park, and of course the unveiling of our founder, W.P. Atkinson, in Town Center, the statue of him. And it's rather appropriate it's placed where it is because that's where Midwest City began 75 years ago. We also celebrated our 75th anniversary with Tinker Air Force Base. It's a wonderful cooperation we have with them and a continuation of a great partnership that has existed for 75 years, and I hope and pray that it continues for another 75 years. I've completed my 2nd year as your mayor. I remain humbled and excited about being up here. Again, serving the people that I've served for 31 years in this capacity is very rewarding. As you know, I'm a lifelong resident of Midwest City, and I'm truly proud of our history. And I remain determined to ensure that our heritage remains one that we can pass on to our future generations. As we continue to press forward, we continue to keep in mind the vision that Mr. Atkinson had of making Midwest City America's model city. First off, there's a couple other people I want to mention, but first off, our employees. From the line crews in the ditches to the decision makers running the departments, I want to thank you for your hard work and dedication. They truly are a dedicated group of workers. And again, thank you. There are two other people that I want to recognize real quickly, and that have become my overseers over the last 2 years, and that's Jill Donaldson and Donna Eversole. They are the executive secretaries that manage the chaos that is the city manager and mayor's office. Last year, from the council side of the house, we saw the untimely resignation of Daniel McClure as Ward 1 councilman. Life caught up with Daniel and he had to move on. After interviewing several very well-qualified candidates, I selected Susan Eads as a replacement. Susan is a mom, she's a lawyer, and she lives in Ward 1. She's been a welcome addition to our team, and Susan, thank you for stepping up and serving. And Susan just got reelected for a full term, so again, thank you and welcome to our team. Christine Allen Price was reelected by affirmation this year. She is from Ward 5, Christine. And she continues to be a good team member, and we're looking forward to working with you throughout the next 4 years, Christine. This year, Rick Dawkins, longtime Midwest City resident and school teacher and principal, decided not to run for re-election. He has served as Ward 3 councilman for the last 8 years. He's a great guy, a good team member, and he's going to be sorely missed from our council. But we've got a new one. Espinoa Bowen, who I've known for, 15 years, is just as excited about serving our community and just as excited as bringing our community forward in the future. Espinoa, she'll be sworn in on April 9th, and welcome to the team. Over the last 2 years, I've enjoyed meeting with the citizens of Midwest City. That's the favorite part of my job, is getting out and meeting people and talking to people. With Meet the Mayor prior to council, and my favorite is Coffee with the Mayor at the Underground, 1621 South Douglas. I get to meet with citizens in a relaxed environment and talk about issues. This has also been copied by some local politicians, I might add, so I set the bar. Thanks, Underground, for having me. I appreciate it. They're present today as well. And I do want to invite you to either event. The first Tuesday of every month, I'm at the Underground, and an hour before council, I'm available in the council chambers. As council, we also loved sponsoring our second annual Employee Appreciation Picnic. This gives the council and myself a chance to not only feed our employees, but get to know them and thank them for their hard work and service. The Employees Activities Committee also brings together several activities throughout the year, and to include the Employees Christmas Party and the Annual Awards Banquet, which is coming up, by the way. Going forward, I plan to be actively engaged in my community with Tinker Air Force Base, Rose State College, obviously, Mid-Dell Schools, and the Midwest City Chamber of Commerce. Over the last 2 years, our staff and council have come together as a team to address the many issues of the city, and there were many. This year, I've learned far more about commercial property development than I ever cared to know. And I hope I don't have to revisit it again. But through the diligence of our staff and council, we had worked through the intricacies of these issues and placed Midwest City on a solid foundation which will lead us well into the future. And again, I thank the staff and the council for working as hard as you have. Our employees continue to step up and go well beyond what is expected of them every day. They do things that's not in their job description, or they just see and get it done. We've retired several this year, but two in particular come to mind, and that's Linda Rooney and Dana Kirkland. Combined, they had over 90 years of service to this community. It was sad to see them go, but a well-deserved respite. Due to the efforts of several of our employees, Midwest City was recognized by the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality for our cleanup efforts preparing the trails on the Soldier Creek Industrial Park to open up. Through their efforts alone, we had 60 or 70 volunteers show up and cleaned up thousands of pounds of trash and debris, making that another place in Midwest City that you can go. In 2017, the city endured a rigorous audit, yearly audit I might add, and received an unmodified audit report. And in accountant speak, we did great. I used the wrong term last year, and that was unqualified. That never resounded with me, so unmodified makes a lot more sense. Congratulations to our entire finance team and to the employees and department heads that run their departments with integrity. I'm proud to say we have a clean financial record and stand on a solid financial foundation. It was also brought to light during our audit report that 50% of our staff in our finance department are CPAs. That's unheard of in the municipal world. Our finance department operates and manages a $150 million budget per year with a combined payroll of $2.2 million monthly. They work hard and they keep us out of trouble. Thank you, Christine, and all your group. As you know, municipalities are totally reliant on sales tax, fees, and fines to operate. This situation is not likely to change in the state of Oklahoma, and by the way, we're the only state in the United States that restricts municipalities to these revenue streams. But as a team, we came together, staff and council, and got past a 3/4 cent sales tax through our citizens this year. This allows us to solidify and maintain our fund balances, provide additional public safety personnel, and allows us to continue to supply the services that our citizens have come to expect over the years. And again, we are extremely grateful for the confidence that the city and the community has placed in us in managing that sales tax revenue. Public services to our community continue to expound every year. Last year, we started 2 major road projects. Both of them on Southeast 15th, one from Elkey to Midwest, the other from Lynn Fry out to Anderson Road. This will greatly improve our ability to transfer on those arteries and allow better access to the residential areas east of here. One of the projects is now complete, and the other project, the Lynn Fry project, is due to be completed within a month. I promise it will be completed. We have completed a new automated water meter system in our city, and we are moving forward with that project. We currently are beta testing 100 automated shutoff valves for our residential customers. This allows us a better expedient way of turning on and off water and controlling the amount of billed services to our customers. Just to make note, we have 19,273 residential water customers and 1,052 commercial customers. This culminates to a total of $5.9 million worth of billed services each year. Now, there's three things that I get phone calls on: road closures, trash, and water. Trash. We picked up 33,621 tons of trash last year. We picked up 2,979 tons of recyclables last year, and we continue with our recycle program. The city continues to work through the American with Disabilities Act transition plan and upgrade our sidewalks, public areas, and facilities to come into compliance with federal law. City staff and council, and I might add I didn't have anything to do with this, and we had three councilmen that took the lead on this, working with Oklahoma Gas and Electric to identify problems with our streetlights and get them corrected. And by the way, we did this long before Oklahoma City ever knew they had a problem. Community development processed 122 residential building permits with a combined investment total of $17 million. Along with that, they completed 175 certificate of occupancy inspections and 162 final building inspections. Neighborhood services continue to enforce our ordinances to make our community a clean and safe environment for people to live. They worked over 6,000 code enforcement violations, by the way, most of the year being understaffed. In the economic development area, there's another person I want to recognize, and I affectionately call him the Reverend. I call him the Reverend because he has the gospel of economic development, and quite a pleasure to deal with, and that's Robert Coleman. The Rev continues to bird dog projects to bring into our city, and quite a pleasure to work with. And Robert, thank you for your efforts. With that being said, several new restaurants opened in Midwest City. And of course, I'd be remiss without mentioning Sooner Rose Shopping Center project. That began with the groundbreaking of the Warren Theater. And again, Mr. Warren, I just thank you for that opportunity. The Burlington Coat Factory is started, and there's more great things to come out of this development. Winco Foods opened up across the street this year, and also a new on-queue at 23rd and Douglas. Santa Claus came to town in Midwest City this year. North Pole Adventure took up occupancy in the old Hobby Lobby and had 21,000 visitors during the Christmas season. We are working diligently to keep that gentleman here in our town. The Soldier Creek Industrial Park was deemed a site-ready project by the Department of Commerce last year, and we continue to tout or try to get tenants for that project. We continue to work with the owner of Heritage Park Mall to revive that area and bring it back into a revenue-producing area for our community. Many municipal departments are undergoing or looking through our city ordinances to ensure that they are not only current, but currently serve our citizens. Public Works facilitated the drainage project of the C-47, placed new restrooms at the tennis courts, installed emergency phones at 4 parks, and completed the bike trails project. Community development, along with Public Works, continue to rework striping in our streets and manage 500 miles of roadway in our community. This is an undersung hero, but Mr. Davis in the back runs our maintenance department for our vehicles. They continue to save the city money by completing 80% of the repairs in-house with ASE Mechanics. And they also operate 2 refueling facilities in the city, one liquid and one gas. And thank you for your hard work. Public safety remains a priority with all of us. In 2017, we completed a comprehensive study of both police and fire departments, and both department heads are working diligently to implement the recommended changes that was brought about as a result of those, to ensure that we're bringing to our citizens efficient public safety. Working with the Information Technology Department, Emergency Operations Center continues to improve our communication network. We continue to implement a new 800 megahertz radio system, which will enhance our ability to communicate not only day to day, but in times of emergency. This is also coupled with our GIS, or Geographical Information System, which allows us to pinpoint issues from 911 calls to broken sewer mains. The city retained its certification with the National Weather Service last year and ensured our FEMA compliance so we can get reimbursed during times of emergency. I'm proud to say that the fire department remains 100% manned in the suppression side of the house. They responded to 6,000 calls for service last year with an average response time of 4.5 minutes. We just got our ISO rating and we remain number 1. One of several. Now, it is important to point out on the ISO rating, and of course that saves each one of you commercially and residentially money on your insurance. But this is just not an entity that lies within the fire department. It also evaluates our ability to put the wet stuff on the hot stuff and our ability to move, shoot, and communicate. All 3 of those areas got outstanding marks during our recent ISO evaluation. And Chief Vaughn Sullivan isn't here today, but he's the head of Public Works. And of course, Mike Bauer of the Emergency Operations Center. Thank you guys for your hard work in maintaining that rating. The police department, my favorite area. With the approval of council, started a police advisory board last year, and they continue to be one of 2 metropolitan departments within the area that maintains that board. And that board allows citizens to become involved in critical incidents with the police department and allows us to be accountable to the citizens. And Chief, thank you for taking the initiative of putting that board together. The department responded to 60,000 calls for service last year. Those calls for service resulted in 2,800 arrests, 9,300 police reports, and Midwest City saw a 15% reduction in overall crime rates in 2017 over 2016. And again, Chief, thank you guys for your efforts. In 2017, the police department, along with their already in place in-car video systems, supplied each officer with a body cam, which increases the officer safety for our officers and also accountability. Midwest City also joined the Oklahoma County Justice Advisory Council, which allows us to, as a community, talk about issues with criminal justice reform and also issues with the Oklahoma County Jail. In conjunction with the municipal courts, our warrant officers worked 1,500 warrants, resulting in $771,000 worth of revenue back to the city in fines and related costs. Our animal welfare department averaged an 80% release rate last year, with the highest being 88.1% in December. Although our facility is outdated, Our employees continue to do wonderful things in keeping the environment for the animals that are collected safe and clean. We are working with several entities within the community to build and design a new animal control facility, which we hope to build in the near future and bring us into the future with our animal control services. Our Human Resources Department continues to work hard every day. They oversee our health benefits program, coordinated 2 blood drives, the service awards program, employee flu shots, Christmas food drive, and it goes on and on and on. They handled 177 job openings last year, processed 989 job applications, and hired 142 new employees. The city's health benefits program is a $6.7 million budget item, and they continue to operate that efficiently and reduce cost without reducing the medical benefits to our employees. Community outreach, again, is one of our main goals and purposes as a municipal entity. Our grants management department, I want to mention this. This is a 2-person shop in grants management. They continue to oversee the original Square Mile reinvestment program. They oversaw state and federal community development grants, providing assistance to our citizens in need, the Safe Oklahoma Grant, Head Start program, Telstar Boys and Girls Club, and provided down payment assistance to 30 new home buyers in the city of Midwest City. And I might add, my oldest son was a benefit of that. Neighborhood Services also hosted their 11th annual community summer camp, Oktoberfest. Continued to assist at 30 to 40 citizens each week, with food, and oversaw the VITA tax program, which processes about 1,000 tax returns for our citizens each year. They facilitated 34 active neighborhood groups, supported 10 block parties, 5 neighborhood cleanups, several Easter egg hunts, 16 national night outs, and a partridge in a pear tree. Neighborhood Services, on their own, led 2 major initiatives in our community last year. They collected $12,000 worth of school supplies, Dr. Cobb, that was distributed to all the schools within the Midwest City jurisdictional area. They collected $16,500 worth of food and donations and assisted 250 families during the Christmas season. The fire department continues their community outreach and taught 2,500 elementary students in fire prevention. The Parks Department hosted 20 events covering 71 days. Calendar days include the Tribute to Liberty, 4th of July event, the Veterans Day Parade, which again, it was our largest ever this year, and of course, Holiday Lights Spectacular. They also operate the Reno Swim and Slide, the softball and baseball complexes, Senior Citizen Center, and the Community Center, this building we're standing in today. The Welcome Center, 12,000 visitors last year with a combined total of $18,000 worth of sales through the gift shop. The Convention Visitors Bureau hosted several cruise in for coffee events. And I got to be careful with this one. Covered in chalk, sidewalk, chalk, and arts festival. I got it out. And of course, the 4-day SoonerCon event held in the Reed Center. This year, in 2017, we added the Oklahoma Veterans Association to our list of conventions that are coming back to Midwest City. And in 2019, a huge convention with the Buick Club coming in. As you can see, or listen, we accomplish a lot in this community. And sometimes a lot of it just goes unseen or unheard. And it is my job to be a cheerleader for our community. And again, I want to thank our employees for all the hard work and our staff that they do every day. I want to reiterate how outstanding of a city you live in and work in. As you've heard, our city works hard every day to maintain the services and bring you the safe, quality environment that you want to be in. Although we had overwhelmingly positive results in 2017, 2018 looks to be a lot better. As we continue to grow and develop, we have to have a vision. We have to move forward with that vision. We can't let our foot off the gas at this point. If you do that, you become complacent. It is my job to be the cheerleader to move forward on those visions. We're going to be working consistently to provide that vision for not only our staff but our community. My vision is to provide a safe, livable community consistent with that vision that Mr. Atkinson had 75 years ago. In 2018, we plan to come forward with a plan to provide additional funding for streets, infrastructure, equipment, and much needed improvements to our recreational facilities. In conjunction with council, I plan to call for a citywide cleanup effort to spruce up our city for the anticipated visitors coming to the Warren Theater. This will mean increased vigilance and activity from code enforcement and building inspections. I'm hoping in the next few weeks that we can make another announcement of another game changer coming to our community. There is one thing you can do immensely to improve and maintain our ability to bring these services to you, and that is that you shop Midwest City and keep that sales tax revenue in our community. Again, I'm truly humbled to be standing before you. As a kid that went to Eastside, Jarman, and Midwest City High School, the last thing on my mind would be standing before a crowd like this as your mayor. I'm gratified and humbled to serve as your mayor, and nothing is more rewarding to me to give back to the community that has given me and my family so much. Again, thank you for being here this morning. May God bless all of you, the city of Midwest City, the great state of Oklahoma, and of course, the United States of America. Thank you and have a good day.